With me is the Director of Global Brand Communications at Prezi. And he is about to be showing you in the next 45 minutes how and what is Prezi Video first, and then how you can build a Prezi Video presentation. Spencer, I don't know whether or not it's called Prezi Video presentation, but maybe only Prezi Video, very, very easily for yourself. Spencer,
yeah,
welcome.
Prezi Video is good.
All right. All right, Spencer, welcome to the conference. Take it away, please. I'm looking forward to that session for so long, so let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Hi, everybody. So we are doing lots and lots of virtual presenting in this tiny little box and trying to figure out how can we operate in it. And it is getting really difficult to get somebody's attention in the first place and then keep them engaged when we're giving our presentation. And I think that's because it's getting really difficult to get away with screen sharing our slides like this. Because the second I take that away, that's the moment we start to lose our audience. Because we know that emotional connection is from that eye contact. And it's also from movement, because movement is the gateway to attention. So not just the movement of me and my facial expressions and my hands, but also the movement of my content on the screen. And this is why we built Prezi Video. So for those of you who don't know, this is Prezi Video, and it's the ability to bring content onto the screen with you live, like I am today, or as pre-recorded videos. Now, it's not just a Prezi presentation like this. You can also import your PowerPoint presentation and the slides will appear next to you on the screen. You can bring videos, you can bring images, whatever content that you want to. So it allows me to obviously have videos like this playing next to me as I'm talking. But I think more importantly, it also gives us the opportunity to interact with the graphics. And this is what I like, the fact that I can have this transparency, because many of us, and you're probably the same, that we have to bring data and charts into our presentation. And when I bring it up like this, it allows me to really bring it to life, because the alternative is when I take my camera feed away, then that's the moment you start to look for your phone or try to understand what is the chart telling me. Whereas when I'm here, I can say, you know what, in Asia in 2014, we put an extra resource in terms of people and money, and it really spiked growth, and we have this lovely hockey stick up and to the right. I bring it to life. I reveal the meaning. So this is Prezi Video. And what I'm going to do in the next 30 or 40 minutes is show you how to build this presentation that I have on the screen. So we're going to go step by step and build this particular one. So I'm going to now close down my Prezi Video app, and I'm going to start screen sharing so you can then see my screen. 2 seconds. I share my screen. Now you should be able to see everything, no problem. Okay. So when you log into Prezi, you will always end up in our dashboard. And if you haven't been in Prezi for some time, it's probably changed quite a bit. So we now have 3 products. There's Prezi Present, which is the Prezi everybody knows. We have something called Prezi Design and Prezi Video, and I'm going to explain those in a minute. Obviously, I'm highlighted on all projects here. So in my dashboard, I can see a presentation here. I can see a video that I recorded and some presentations that are shared with me because this is a team account. We also have something called the library, which I'm going to use when we build the presentation. And this is really an amazing tool because it 10x's how quick you can put presentations together. You can put anything in here. You can put videos, images, whole PowerPoint presentations. I can take whole structures and substructures inside Prezi and put them in here, and it really makes it quick. So I'm going to show you that later on. We also have the brand kit, so you can obviously upload your logo, your colors, and make sure that everything's on brand. And when we're specifically talking about Prezi Video, then an important thing to see is down here at the bottom left is download the Prezi apps. So again, what this allows you to do is to do this, get the Prezi Video for desktop, because when we're presenting live and we present through the desktop, it's not taking bandwidth, as opposed to if you presented live from the browser, obviously that's going to start competing for the bandwidth as well. Okay, so Prezi Present, everybody knows Prezi probably. It's undergone a lot of changes in the last 10 years. But again, we're not here to talk about that per se. Prezi Design is a place where you can go and create really amazing visual content. Everything from social media channel art, you can do your YouTube thumbnails, you can do interactive charts and data and infographics. So in terms of data visualization, it's a really powerful tool. And again, I'm not going to get into that today because I could do a whole webinar just on that. But we are here to talk about Prezi Video. So there are three main ways that you can record Prezi Video. There's quick record, there's import your PowerPoint, and when you import your PowerPoint, it literally saves everything as JPEGs and it puts it next to you on the screen. And then we have use Prezi Present, which is the presentation software. And that's actually what we're going to do today. We're going to use one of the templates and I'll show you how to do that. But before we do, I'm going to jump in here to the quick record and show you how you can build a video presentation literally in 5 minutes. So this is designed, and you'll see me again appear here on the screen. So this is designed really to get you to a video in a few minutes. It's live editing. So you'll see me here. I can just type in welcome to the meeting and it appears on the screen. Now I can obviously also upload my own content. So I can upload anything from here. It goes, obviously picks it up from your desktop or wherever. We have obviously a huge image library. We have an icon library. You can also connect it to Google Drive, Dropbox, and all those kind of things. For now, I'm just going to pick an image from the image library. And what you start to see is obviously all the content is here on the screen with me. And you see over here on the right-hand side, that's slide 1, if you like. So if I go ahead and hit that plus button, it will open up another slide. So I can straight away start saying topic 2, and I'll bring in another image. And just for fun, we'll add a third one. So I'll do topic 3, maybe with a space. And then if I come back over to here, I've got these little arrows that allow me to just go through the content. So I can start to see what it looks like. Now, if at this point I am not happy with the styling, I can go here to change template, click on that, and then I will start to see all of the templates that we have in the quick record. And the second I click on them, it will automatically change all of the styling, all of the fonts, and make it look nice. Now, this is the limitation of the quick record. You cannot change that color. You cannot change the font. It's literally you type in the text and you bring your content onto the screen. Because now I'm literally ready just to hit practice and record. And here I have all of my presenter controls. So I can, these three here, I can take the graphics away. So it's just the camera feed. I can have me and the graphics next to me, or I can take the camera feed away and I just want to focus on the content. And obviously I can do that when I'm presenting live, like you saw me do earlier, or when we're doing this pre-record. Obviously I can choose camera and microphone. And when I'm ready, I just hit that record button and it will do a 3, 2, 1 countdown. And now I'm recording. So I say, hi, welcome to the meeting. We're going to talk about this very exciting topic here, and I can move through my presentation. And if at some point I want to stop, I can hit that pause button and take a breather, or maybe I don't know, needed to sneeze or something, and then I can press it again and it will go 3, 2, 1, and then I continue recording. So when I'm finished, I hit done recording and it will automatically start to process that video. And at this point, I can obviously play it back and see if I'm happy with it. Or I can do some basic editing. So I can just hit the trim button and I can just top and tail it to get rid of any dead space that you might want to get rid of. And then I hit on the save button and that's it. It's now uploaded. It's in my dashboard. And at this point, I can decide, obviously, do I want it unlisted or public? If you want it public, then obviously I would encourage you to fill out the title, description, and tags. Not only so people understand what is in that video when they see the view page, but also we have somewhere in the region of 500 million pieces of content hosted on Prezi.com. It works a little bit like YouTube, so your content will be indexed by Google and discovered. So it's a great way to use as a marketing thing. Obviously, I can copy the URL to that video, same way as you would with a YouTube video. I can download it. So I hit download and it downloads an MP4 file. So I can then take that and upload it somewhere if I want. And obviously, embed, share. I can take it onto a video conference, record it again, or delete, which is what we're going to do today because we don't need to keep that video. So that's the quick record, and that's a really great way. I use it a lot when I'm using it, especially internally at work. I send a lot of quick messages in terms of like async communication. But we are here to talk about how can we do this video presentation that you saw me give at the beginning. So I'm going to go ahead and click new, and this is obviously inside the main Prezi editor, and it's going to take you through to all of our video design templates. So these are 100% customizable. You can decide, this one looks nice. I can obviously, look through it using the arrow keys. And this one here, the portfolio, this is the one that we're going to use today. This is the template I use to put that presentation that you saw me give at the very beginning. And what this is doing is it's taking that template and it's uploading it inside the Prezi editor. And now we can start to customize it into something that's going to wow our audiences. Now, obviously, when you first log in, it's going to want to connect to your camera. I'm not actually going to do that at the moment. We'll do that in a second. I want to give you a bit of a tour around the editor and how it works. But before I do that, I want to take a moment and just talk a bit about the Prezi environment, because I think that's where a lot of people get stuck sometimes, because Prezi is still the only software that's not based on a linear slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, slide 4, slide 5. It's a 3D zoomable canvas. And it works a little bit like Google Maps. So for example, imagine this is Google Maps and we're now looking at the United States. And what do you see when you're at a country level? You might suddenly see just the major cities. So I'll put New York here. Let's get rid of that. And when you scroll on Google Maps and I scroll through, that country level disappears. And now what I see is I see the New York level. Maybe here in my subtopic area, if we're keeping with the Google Maps analogy, then this might be Central Park. And that's the premise of the environment that you're in. So I can obviously then zoom even further into Central Park, and maybe this is going to be the famous bridge in the middle of the park. So as I scroll back out, that level disappears. Now I see New York. Now I see the United States. So this is an important thing to understand because it really helps you know the environment. And I'm going to explain all of these menus in a minute, but I'm just going to show you how powerful the library can be and bring this in, which is another way to visualize this template that we're in. So, imagine that the welcome bit at the top is, this overview page, or the home page, if you like, of your video presentation, and you have these 4 topics. So these topics, and topics is what we call them, you can think of them as like buckets of content. So each of those has content underneath it, and you can see there the subtopics visualized like this. So this is, I think, an important little side trip just to explain. Now, if you see this left-hand side navigation here, obviously this here is the overview, the top page that we see here on the canvas. And what it shows me is the 4 topics. It doesn't show me everything. It just shows me New York, approach, projects, and find me. And you see these little gray key lines underneath. That actually shows you that if I double click into New York, it's now going to show me Central Park. And, if I click into Central Park, it will show me the bridge and that kind of information. So it's like this expandable way of having your slides in groups, in categories. Now, for those of you who used to use Prezi Video back in the day, of course, I could delete all of this and just start with a blank canvas. So that ability still exists if you want to do it. But for today, we're going to stick with this template. So let's go around the editor a bit more. We have this little hamburger menu here. I don't tend to use this a lot, but keyboard shortcuts is pretty important. You can save a lot of time by understanding what those are. Obviously here you see that everything's synced and saved. We automatically save everything as you work, as you'd expect. Here I can obviously just change the title of my presentation. So I'll do video meeting, click OK. And here we have our static menu. So Prezi has static menus and smart menus. So the static menus are these 3. And style, this will change things on a global level. So for example, this background, which I have this like image of a gray wall, I can just hit this refresh button and it will just randomly pick an image from our image library. Or I can hit those 3 little buttons there and I can either upload my own image, I can change the background color, I can delete the image. But actually, when it comes to video, I actually quite like just having the plain background and also gray background, because then I see white text on the top of it. Because when we're building for video, what we need to remember is that background is basically going to become the camera feed. So if I hit this button, create video, and I'll let it open up my camera. I'll go to this one, click on view camera, and now you're going to see me in a second. There I am. So you can now see, okay, this is the content for the video, and the background basically becomes the video feed. Now, some people, when they're building it, what you can do, you have this freeze camera button. So I can take a picture of myself and it will freeze it. And now I can actually start to continue to build my presentation, and I will always know when I'm going to have content in a place where I don't want it. But I'm actually going to turn that off because I don't like it. And I think we look at ourselves entirely too much these days anyway with all our Zoom calls. So I normally use like a gray background. Some people like using like a vivid green background so they know that that's the camera feed. So that's the background. We also have topic shapes. So at the moment you see these topics are this nice rectangle. So obviously I can change that, and I can either just do it randomly and it will choose shapes for me, or I press these little 3 dots and I start to see all of the different options of how I might want to change what those look like. I can even have a nice little cloud for the content. So for today, we're going to choose this rectangle. And I'm also going to show you in a bit how you can, instead of having a shape, you can have that nice image. So you can have an image as a topic cover as well. Okay, so that was topic shape. Obviously, colors, we can do the same. So I can just use one of the existing palettes that Prezi has put in there for you. All the colors work very nicely together. Or you can click on new palette and you can say brand colors or give it a name. And for each of the different elements, the background, the topics, the subtopics, you can obviously start building out colors. Obviously, we have lots of ways that you can choose a color, or you can do RGB or hex and build up your own palette of colors. So that's the color menu. And obviously we can do the same for font. So that's the style, changes everything at a global level. Insert, as you would expect, is where you can insert lots of different types of text. And you can even use the watermark feature, which is where I can bring in my logo. So I'll just go ahead and upload my logo. I already have a folder here, so I'll open the logo here, and it will place it down here on this bottom left area, and that will always stay in the same place no matter where I am in the presentation. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a bit of background. So if I click black, you see straight away there's like this black background to it. And on this opacity slider, I'm just going to pull it back a little bit, because that's going to make it look super nice, because it's going to be a little bit see-through. So that's a good one to do. And then obviously the third static menu, you have the obvious things about when you're going to present or share or go live, etc. And obviously, if you're on a team license, I can also invite my colleagues to have access to this presentation as well, whether that's just to comment or whether they're going to do something else. This one here, the speaker notes, this is also important to show. So I can start typing in, welcome to my meeting, and I'm going to talk about kudos, for example. So I could give myself some notes. It automatically saves it. And then when later on, we're in the Prezi video desktop app, then those presenter notes will appear so you can see them as you're presenting. Okay, so static menu at the top, and we have a smart menu. So you see when I select any object on the canvas, and here I'm selecting a text box, this smart menu appears, and it gives you all of the options that are relevant to that particular object. So you can see all of the, text size, fonts, colors, etc. Now, if I insert an image, for example, and let's just take the first one, I'll drag it onto the canvas. I get a different smart menu here. So maybe I want to go ahead and I want to crop that image, so I just crop it. Now, when I select it, I can here at this point, I can add it to my library. And I would definitely encourage you, when you have things that you've worked on and you think, okay, that looks perfect, add it to your library, because then you never have to do that work again. It's already there, saved, uploaded, and you just drag it in. So we have these smart menus for any object that you have when you're working, which is also good to know. Okay, so let's start building our presentation. Now, when you see, obviously, we have these 4 topics, and the reason we give you like a range of topics in these templates is it starts to show you different ways of how you might lay your content out. But it doesn't mean that you have to try and fit your content into those. So what I normally do is I get rid of all of the topics apart from one. So what I want to do is I want to get that one topic set up exactly how I like it, and then it's going to work for me. So if I double click and zoom into this topic, I also have obviously 2 subtopics here. Oh, and I went through them too quickly. And obviously all of this content. So for our purposes today, I don't want any of this. So I'm just going to literally highlight it and delete it. Including this nice little graphical element. I'm even going to get rid of these subtopics. So now all I'm left with is this nice transparent shape. And you can do that very easily if you want to do anytime. You just do insert shape, and I bring a shape onto the canvas. And again, my smart menu, I do fill color. And I can choose any color I want, or I can go custom, I can add RGB hex. I can also round the corners if I want. So it's not like the sharp corners. But here you have the opacity slider. So I normally bring it down to that where that first square is, and then suddenly that's going to look really nice when it's on video. So that's super quick just to do transparency in some of your content. Now, I have here this black rectangle, which is actually the thumbnail or the cover art for my topic. You see the black rectangle. Now, a lot of the times that can be really powerful. It's like for like visual consistency. So it's like leaving digital breadcrumbs, especially if you say you've got 3 topics and you have each topic is a different color. You might want to leave that. But for my purpose today, I don't want that big black rectangle there in the middle of where I'm going to have my content. So this is where we're going to jump into some advanced editing. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight this topic, and I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to do Control right click, and it's going to open up another menu. Now here I have something called advanced topic editing, and the shortcut for me on the Mac is Control E, and I would encourage you to find the shortcut. Now what that does is open up a number of different layers inside the topic cover, or the thumbnail, if you like. So I have obviously my text, I have that black rectangle that's appearing, and I also have this key line that's part of the design as well. Now I also have this topic zoom area here. Now this is the camera view that you see when you've zoomed into it. So for example, you see like here, look, I've got all of that black thumbnail. So if I move this to say to here, and then click out of that, and then double click into here, now I've only got a little bit of that thumbnail art, or the cover art showing. So you can play around a lot with this. So I'm just going to go back and I'm going to highlight it, Command E, open it up. But for our purposes, I don't want that there. So when I highlight that, you see it says visible inside and outside. So again, I'm going to do Control right click, and I have the option to make it visible outside only. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then when I go back in and I double click, then now it's not there. The only thing I see is that key line, because I need to do the same thing with the key line. So again, I highlight it, Command E, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change a few different things. So I'm going to highlight that key line. Sorry, I lost the... So I'm going to highlight the key line, and I'm going to change the color to white, because then it's going to look a lot nicer. I'm just going to take this topic and bring it back over. Now, what I also need to do with that topic cover is do the Control right click, and I'm also going to make that visible outside only. And I'm also going to bring it to the top, or bring it to the front, because I want it to be visible inside or on the front of the topic, and you'll see in a minute. And I'm going to grab that box here, and I'm also going to bring that to the front. And now I'm starting to build this exactly how I like it. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn it to purple, because it's about time we brighten this up. Take my text box, and now it's beginning to look like what we wanted in the first place. So click out of that, put it back here. The designer in me is dying to go back and make that key line level, but I'm going to fight the urge. And now all I've got is my nice, clean, transparent shape, and I'm going to give my camera view a bit more space there. And what I can also do now is I can highlight that, do Control C to copy it, double click, go inside, Control V, and it's already there, all set up nice for me. And if I double click in that one, it's the same again. So that's now set up. I'd like all of my topics to be like that. So then at this point, I can literally hit highlight it, hit add to library, and now all of that is in my library. So I can even take all of this away. I'm just going to get rid of this because I don't want it here either. So yeah, so now if I want, I can just do insert, my library, and I click on here, and in comes my topics, 3 levels deep, and I can just do that time and time again. So that becomes pretty powerful. Now, what we want to do, however, is we want to get to do some really interesting stuff. I'm going to upload an image that I want to have as my cover artwork, which was, if you remember at the very beginning, we had this image. So what I do here is I just highlight that, and I'll do Command X just to pick it up, go to my topic cover, and I'm going to start deleting all of this because I don't actually want it. So I'm going to get rid of that as well. So now I have an invisible topic cover. So I just do Command V and I paste my image inside here. And now this is my topic. So now when I double click on that image, I zoom through and I go through to the subtopic that's there. So straight away, that starts to give you a huge amount of creative flexibility in terms of wanting to do what you want. And I can take that text box and I can put it inside. So the other thing we did was to put a video in and to put a chart in. So I'm going to show you those two things. So for example, if we click through here and I want to insert an image, hang on a second, so insert image, and I had a picture of somebody on my team. So I just go to my image box, find the image, drag it here. And at this moment, I want to bring in my video. So I can do insert video and then I upload video. But I'm not going to do that now because I'm obviously connected with all of you and it might explode everything because the video file could be quite big. So this is where you suddenly see the power of the library. So I just go insert my library and here's my video that I uploaded earlier. And all I do is literally drag it onto the canvas and that's it. It's there. The whole video embedded inside. You don't need internet connection for that video. It's the whole video file. So the library becomes a really super powerful thing. So now we want to animate these so they appear or disappear as we want. So for that, we'll go insert animation. And again, it's a smart menu. So I just have these two. But if I highlight the image, then I get more. So this one, I'm quite happy of the picture of the person on my team to be when I zoom into the topic. So the first action I want to take is for that to fade out. So I'll just go ahead and click fade out. And now if you see over here on the left-hand side, you'll see it's put that animation sequence into my path flow within the New York topic. Now, you'll also see here that when I inserted the video, it automatically put a zoom to video, which means that it will zoom and the video will be full screen. Now, I actually don't want that, so I'm going to click on those and hit delete because I want that video to stay the size that I want it to be. So we have the animation for the picture. Now I'm going to click on the video and I'm going to do fade in. So I have the image fading out and the video fading in. And at this point, I can now arrange these in whatever size and position I want. And it doesn't matter if they're on top of each other because that won't matter when I'm presenting. And in general, that's also a good workflow tip is if you have, say, 10 things that you want to animate, just make them really small and put them on the canvas really small, sort out all the animation, and then change the size and put them into place. Because now if I hit the present button and I want to go and see what that looks like, and I zoom into the New York, there's the picture fades out, the video fades in, and I can play the video. So I hit escape to go back to the edit. So that's it in terms of add in a video. It's as simple as that, and also animation. So I'm just going to do a copy paste with this. Let's have another chapter in here, or another topic, sorry. And I'm going to go in here and let's just delete these because we don't need them. And we're going to insert a chart. Now I want that nice kind of 50% opacity. So I'm just going to grab that shape. Let's go back there a second. And I'm going to just bring it so it's full screen. And now what I want to do is I want to insert my chart. So I insert the chart from up here. I can build a lot of things here. Now, at this point, you can bring in your chart from Excel or wherever else that you have it. The one thing I would say is save it as a PNG. You want it as a see-through transparent asset because then that allows you to do that interactive way of presenting. So I click on line chart. I'm going to do dark because I want the legend and the everything to be in black, not in white, because I have my nice white background. Hang on, let me just bring that a little bit closer. So now I have my chart, and I can obviously start to resize it as I see fit. And I'm not going to go too far into this today, but now it's selected, I can hit Control, right click, and I can click on Edit Chart. And now it's going to open up a whole new world of data visualization. So at this point, I can edit the data, which will open up a spreadsheet. I can bring data from another spreadsheet that I have on my desktop somewhere. I can change all of the properties, colors. You know, if I'm going to do proper data storytelling, I would remove any of these colors to gray that's not important and just have one color. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that today because we don't have time. But what is important for us is to put the animation sequence in, because, you know, what I want, if I click on animation, is I want to fade in when I click the button. And now I can just kind of put this down here, and I can make it any size I see fit. So there we go. A few ways of building something that starts to look pretty cool pretty quickly. So at this point, I'm going to close this down, and I'm going to go and open up the Prezi Video Desktop app. So I open this up and I import from Prezi. Now, the app, you can also import your PowerPoint. Here, let me cancel that. Actually, it's a good thing to show. Let me close all this down. So here, you can import from Prezi, which we're about to do. You can import a PowerPoint, and it will give you editing features inside the desktop app. Or you can even do that quick record that we showed you right at the beginning. So you have options there, but we're going to go ahead and click import. And we see our team meeting one there. So we're going to hit import selected. And that's going to load it up into our presenter player, if you like. Now, you're probably, yes, because I'm already connected to all of you today through the conference, it's gone ahead and automatically presented. So, Boris, if you are there, can you tell me, I know there's going to be a bit of a delay, if you can see both me and the Prezi video presentation, as well as my desktop on the second screen. So hopefully you'll hear this in the next few seconds. That'll be useful.
Yeah. We're able to do it. Absolutely.
Perfect. So what you're seeing, if you look at the screen share, it's actually perfect because you can see what it looks like in present mode, and you're also seeing what I see on my desktop. So I have obviously my little presenter controls here, so I can take the graphics away, I can bring it next to me, I can just have just the content if I want to go off camera. We have something called share screen, so I can share different things. I'm not going to go into that today. And normally you would have an option here that says video conference and record. So record is obviously I want to record a video and send it to somebody. And when I normally hit that video conference, it will pop up a menu of all of the different types of video conference platforms. So, you know, WebEx, Zoom, MS Teams, and you pick whichever one you want, and it will take you through a process to connect it. And all you do is when you're inside your video platform of choice, so now I'm using WebEx, I just go inside WebEx to where you have the little camera icon, and I click on the option and I pick the Prezi Video Virtual Camera. So this app basically operates as a virtual camera. So it takes the feed from my external camera, takes it through the app, and then into WebEx, and then all of you see it. And you see at the top here, when I typed in those meeting notes earlier on, that your meeting notes, your presenter notes are there on the screen. So you can obviously use these arrows to navigate through your content, or you can use the keys on your keyboard. You can also use, I use a, don't have it handy, but I have a Logitech Spotlight clicker, so you can do the same thing. And I can start playing the video. So again, that's like pretty easy in a way of how you can navigate and present when you're doing it. So I've done a lot of talking, so I'm going to stop talking now. So Boris, if we have any questions, then that will be really good. Hopefully you've all found this interesting and useful. Again, I obviously, scratched the surface with what's possible, but I wanted to give you a taste about how you can take one of our really customizable templates and within the space of half an hour have something that's looking pretty cool when you take it live.
Absolutely. Spencer, thank you so much for that demo. Even for 30 minutes, I think people saw a lot here and how easy it is at the end of the day to pull up and have a Prezi video on your end and differentiate, if you want, in this new virtual world and presenting in a different way in this virtual world. There are, by the way, you may get, I don't know whether or not you were expecting questions or not, but there are quite some. So
Okay,
let's try to tackle them one by one, and the remaining one, you are already promising us that you are going to tackle in the chat after this session, okay? Sounds good?
Cool, sounds good.
So let's go with the first one. The first one comes from Zornice, who is asking, hey, what is the resolution that I can download the quick record files? Like, what is the resolution down there? Like, if they download them?
Yeah, I mean, you have three options. When you hit that download button, hang on, let's see if I can show you. Let's go. I don't know, can everybody see my screen?
They will be able to see it. Yep.
Yeah. So hang on, let me go through to the view page. So when I get to here and I want to download, it will download a high res. I think it's the 1000. Let's see if I can. Hang on a second. Let's see if it will find me the details. It won't. That's going to take too long. But it will download it in the highest res possible, which is the 1000 by 800, something like that. You have to forgive me. I don't remember.
HD, yeah. The full HD.
Exactly. So full HD. When you're doing the quick record, especially if you're doing recording inside the desktop editor, you'll get like different options. So you can choose if you want to download it as a lower res file, so it makes it easier for you to email to somebody or to send to somebody. So you have those kind of options.
Brilliant. One question, of course, every single time there should be a question. Is this free? Is this freemium? Is it in one of the paid plans? What's going on?
Yeah, so the idea is, Prezi has always been a freemium product. So you can have a free account, but you will come across paywalls with, various different types of features. In general, what I say to people is, it's to really learn how to do this is to use the free trial. So, we have like different packages, and I would always recommend the Plus account. And the reason that I recommend the Plus account is, obviously you can compare everything here, is because of this. You really, really, really want the desktop app, because when you're presenting live, like I'm doing today, that gives you the ability to have a really enhanced presentation experience as the presenter. So definitely make sure that you have the Plus account, which will give you access to the desktop app. But by all means, like, you can still have a completely free account. You have a limited feature set, but it's a great way to learn how to use it. But when you're thinking, okay, now I'm really wanting to have the full feature set, then use start with the Plus account. And if you're on a team, then talk to our kind of departments internally, because the team account gives you really some interesting features in terms of collaboration.
Yeah, which answers I think one of the questions that was following up next, which was, hey, can you create all of this that you just showed us in a desktop app? I think that more or less covers what you just said. Yeah, is the app available both for Mac and PC?
Yes.
All right, perfect. And one last, there is an interesting one that's related again to the downloading feature, let's put it this way. Once you download it locally, you can still present it, right? You don't need an internet. Okay.
Yeah. So that content, it's 100% flexible. So you can download the video, and that content, you can always go back to that page, like here. Hang on, this one. So even if I download that, I can come back to this page, hit record again, and it will take me back to the quick record editor with that content that we built last week or last month, and it will allow me to record another version of it. So yeah, you always have that content and that ability to go ahead and do that kind of recording. Or if you decide that you don't want the file in the dashboard, you can download the video file and then delete the presentation in the dashboard, and then the only version of it that you have is the video. So you can do pretty much however you want.
Brilliant. There are a few more questions that are coming from, I know her, and she's a designer, and they're all about alignment. So you will check them out in the comments and in the chat in the Q&A area afterwards. So please promise us to reply. So Spencer, thank you so much for joining us. This was a great demo, and I believe that everyone who didn't know about Prezi videos still, for some reason, now they are aware, you know, like they are aware that this thing exists. And now because you showed Rich was actually part of your demo itself, and Richard actually used Prezi video yesterday. Now I think that people are understanding how he has built this incredible presentation that he delivered yesterday. Thanks so much for joining us again. It was a pleasure.
You're welcome. Thank you.